Welcome to Infidelity Love, where love burns, lies unravel, and secrets always come to light. If you crave stories filled with passion, betrayal, heartbreak, and revenge, then you're in the right place. Here, every twist cuts deep, and every episode keeps you begging for more. Subscribe now and dive into the dangerous world where love and deception collide. Loretta Moon was a quiet woman. She lived in a small town called Willow Bay with her husband, Jorrel Pike. Jorrel was not like other men. He had strong arms, a deep voice, and eyes that sparkled when he smiled. Loretta loved him too much. Maybe too much. Every morning, Loretta made his favorite coffee. She placed a red flower on the tray, just like he liked. Jorrel would smile and kiss her cheek. But one morning, something felt different. Jorrel came downstairs, dressed nicely. His blue shirt was ironed, his hair neat. He even wore the cologne Loretta bought for their wedding day. "Where are you going looking so nice?" Loretta asked, holding the coffee tray tight. "Oh, just a meeting," he said quickly, grabbing his bag. "I'll be late tonight. Don't wait up." Loretta smiled on the outside, but inside her heart twisted like a knot. She stood at the window and watched him drive away. That's when it began. Loretta followed him. She wore dark glasses and hid behind cars. Jorrel stopped at a cafe. A woman with long red hair sat across from him. They laughed. She touched his hand. Loretta's hands began to shake. That night, Jorrel came home with flowers. "For you," he said sweetly, "just because." Loretta smiled. "Thank you, my love." But the smile didn't reach her eyes. The next day, Loretta found the woman's scarf in his car. It smelled like cherries. She didn't say a word. Instead, she cooked his favorite dinner, chicken pie. She lit candles. She wore the dress he liked. She was gentle, loving, software. Jorrel didn't notice the silence in her eyes. Later that night, as he slept, Loretta stood by the window watching the moon. She whispered, "He is mine, and no one takes what is mine." The next morning, the red-haired woman was gone. Her shop was closed. Her phone didn't ring. And Loretta? She smiled more. But something had changed in Jorrel. He began to act strange. He looked at Loretta with fear and sometimes sadness, like he knew something. One night, Jorrel held her hand and whispered, "Loretta, what did you do?" She only smiled and kissed his lips. The truth was buried. But the love? It still burned. Or was it fear? Jorrel couldn't sleep that night. He turned left, then right, then sat up in bed. Loretta was fast asleep, her arms wrapped around his like a child holding a teddy bear. Her face looked so peaceful, like an angel. But Jorrel's heart beat fast. Too fast. He remembered the red-haired woman, Kalira. She was supposed to meet him again. She never showed up. He called her phone. No answer. He passed her flower shop. Closed. The lights were off. The air around the shop felt cold. Dead. Then he remembered something strange. That night when he came home, Loretta had looked different. Her eyes were soft but sharp, like sugar with a bite of fire. Jorrel slowly pulled his arm out from her grip and tiptoed downstairs. He went to the garage. He opened the car door and checked under the seats again. The cherry-smelling scarf was gone. He knew he didn't take it out. He knew she had been in the car. But why did she act like nothing happened? The next morning, Loretta made him coffee again. This time, no flour on the tray, just the coffee hot and black. Jorrel didn't say anything. He drank it slowly, watching her. She smiled. "You look tired, darling." "Couldn't sleep," he said. She leaned down and kissed his forehead. "Maybe you should stop meeting with strange women." Jorrel froze. His heart dropped. He looked up at her and her smile was still there, but her eyes didn't blink. I don't know what you mean," he whispered. She stood up straight, brushed his hair with her fingers and said, "You're mine, Jorrel. Just remember that." Then she walked away, her feet light like feathers. That evening, Jorel called the police just to ask, just to check. But when he mentioned Kalira's name, the officer said, "Sorry, sir. We don't know anyone by that name." "But she owns the flower shop on Maple Street," Jorel shouted. "There's no flower shop on Maple Street," the officer said. Click. The line went dead. Jorel stared at his phone. His hands were shaking. He stood up, walked to the bookshelf, and pulled out a picture album. He flipped through the pages. There was no picture of Kalira, but there was one photo that wasn't there before. It showed Loretta standing in front of the flower shop, holding a red scarf, smiling. And beside her, a chalkboard sign that read, "Love is mine. Jealousy keeps it. See keeps." Jorel dropped the photo album. It landed on the wooden floor with a soft thud, but to him, it sounded like thunder. His skin felt cold. His mouth was dry. He picked up the picture with trembling hands. Loretta was smiling in the photo, but her eyes didn't smile. They stared straight at him, through him, like she knew he'd find it. "Loretta," he whispered. He turned around. She was standing at the door, holding a basket of folded clothes, wearing her favorite green robe, quiet, calm. "You found it," she said softly. Jorel stood still. "What is this?" "That photo." "The flower shop?" Loretta walked slowly toward him, placed the basket on the table and sat beside him. She picked up the photo and looked at it. "That's where I went the day you forgot our anniversary." Jorel's lips parted. "Loretta, I didn't forget. She placed a finger on his lips. "No need to explain. You were with her. I saw you." He couldn't speak. His heart pounded so loud he thought it might break. "I walked past the shop, and there you were," she whispered, laughing, her hand on yours. "Like I was invisible, like I didn't exist." Her voice didn't shake. It was steady, too steady. Jorel stood up. "What did you do to her?" Loretta smiled. "I loved you." "That's not what I asked," he shouted. Silence. Then Loretta said, "Sometimes, love is like a candle. It lights your way. But if you play with it too much, it burns." She stood, brushed off her robe, and walked toward the kitchen. Jorel followed her. "Where is she, Loretta?" "Tell me." Loretta turned slowly and stared at him. "She's where all fire goes when it's blown out." His knees went weak. He sat on the kitchen stool. "Loretta, I didn't want to," she said, her voice cracking for the first time. "But you made me feel like I wasn't enough. You made me feel small." Tears welled in her eyes, but she didn't let them fall. "I gave you everything, Jorel. My heart, my soul, my time. I became what you needed, and when I saw you with her, I broke." The room fell silent again. Even the clock on the wall seemed to stop ticking. Then she walked over, placed her hand on his shoulder, and whispered in his ear, "But I fixed it. I fixed us." Suddenly there was a knock at the door. Jorel and Loretta turned their heads slowly. Another knock. Then a voice. "Mr. Pike? This is Officer Thorne. We need to speak with you." Jorel stood up fast, his hands sweaty. Loretta didn't move. She smiled again. But this time, it was a different smile. A knowing one. As Jorel walked to the door, Loretta whispered under her breath, "Love can save. But jealousy can bury." Jorel's hand hovered over the doorknob. His breath shook. His heart thudded loud in his chest. Knock, knock. "Mr. Pike, are you all right in there?" He turned to Loretta. She stood still in the kitchen doorway, her eyes soft but unreadable. In her hand, she held the red scarf, the one that smelled like cherries. "What are you going to tell them?" she asked gently. Jorel didn't answer. He opened the door. Two officers stood there. One was tall and serious. The other held a small notebook. "We're investigating the disappearance of a woman named Kalira DeVette. We were told you were the last person to see her," the tall one said. Jorel nodded slowly. "Yes, she was a friend." "Can we come in?" the second officer asked. Jarell stepped aside. As they entered, Loretta walked calmly to the living room. She offered the officers tea, as if nothing was wrong. They refused. The tall officer turned to Jarell. "Did you two have a romantic relationship?" Jarell looked down. "Number, it wasn't like that. She was just someone I talked to." Loretta's face didn't change. She watched him with calm eyes. "And your wife? Was she aware of this friendship?" the officer asked. Loretta stood. "Yes. I saw them once. They laughed together. It hurt." The officer wrote something down. Then he asked softly, "Do you know what happened to her?" There was silence. Loretta looked at Jarell. Jarell looked at her. And for the first time he saw the pain behind her eyes, the cracks in her calm, the fear she tried to hide, the deep, deep love that had twisted itself into something sharp. Jarell stepped forward. "No," he said. "I don't know what happened." The officers nodded. "Thank you for your time," one of them said. They left. When the door closed, Loretta dropped the scarf into the fire. The flames caught quickly. The smell of cherries filled the air. "I didn't hurt her," Loretta said softly, "but I scared her. I wanted her to feel what I felt." Jarell walked toward her. "What did you do?" "I told her who I was. I told her what she was doing to my home, my love. She understood. She left. I didn't want to hurt her, I just wanted you to see me again." Jarell looked at her for a long time. Then he did something unexpected. He hugged her, tight. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I made you feel invisible. I didn't mean to." Loretta broke into tears. For the first time in a long time, she felt seen. Moral lesson. Love is powerful, but when it is mixed with fear, jealousy, and silence, it can turn into something dangerous. Never let the person you love feel small, ignored, or forgotten. And if you're hurting, speak. Because silence can turn hearts into weapons, and jealousy can bury what love tries to build. Thank you for watching. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching and supporting my videos. Your time, your comments, and your love mean everything. Every view, like, and share keeps this channel alive, and I couldn't do it without you. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps bring even more passionate, emotional, and unforgettable love stories to life. Stay tuned for more drama, romance, and unexpected twists. Until next time, keep loving, keep feeling, and keep watching. Much love, infidelity, love.